All right, guys, so if you didn't watch yesterday's video, go watch it because you're about to be really confused. So, as you guys know, we got this thing, the turbocharged S50, not Techno Violet, it's actually Daytona Violet Purple M3. This thing's crazy. Like I said, this is supposed to be the project that we're gonna use to kind of fill the holes in the Nissan project, since we've been wasting a lot of time just kind of waiting for parts and stuff like that, because it is a huge project for us and it's just kind of a lot of trial and error stuff, and we're just waiting, and I want to have constant content, so I revealed this thing. Okay, so for today, my goal is to get the engine out of this car. Now, like I said, I am taking this drivetrain and putting it in my right-hand drive car. And the car itself is not ready for the engine yet. We have to do a few things to prep it, but I want to get all the parts off this chassis as quickly as I can, just so we could assess to see if we need anything else. And because I want to get this chassis sold to get some money back, then put back into it's a cycle, okay? But before we start, I got a lot of comments, because you guys always rip me apart from the last video. I want to address them while I got you. So let's see, I wrote them down. Okay, first off, you guys were ripping me about getting a new car and not finishing old projects. I didn't buy a car. I bought parts that I'm using to finish an old project. So technically it's the opposite of that. See, I didn't buy this for a car. I told you guys I want to get rid of the shell and sell it. I just wanted it for the drivetrain. And I want to use this drivetrain to finish, hold on, that project right there. So this is actually a huge win. This is to finish that car, all right? Point number one. Okay, what else? Now, a lot of you guys are like, why don't you just keep the M3? The right-hand drive car is just a 325. Well, here's the thing. First off, yes, M3 is cool. I love M3s, whatever. The right-hand drive car, beyond anything, just means a lot to me. Any car I know is you get attached to cars. I'm attached to that car. That's all I have to say. That's a good enough reason. And honestly, the E36 is the one generation of M's that the chassis itself is no different than any other 3 Series chassis. What makes it different is the parts attached to that chassis, of course. So technically, I could fully convert that car to an M3, like fully, and that's what I plan to do. Between M bumpers, I'm not trying to be a poser or anything. I just love M3s and I want to turn that car into an M3. So the only thing that's not going to be M3 about that car is the VIN. Like, that's it. Like, the title won't say M3. Hell, I mean, it's a Japanese title. Who would know anyways, right? Whatever. Second, third, whatever. Everyone's saying to fly Alberto up. I got this. You guys know I got this. Alberto's great. Alberto knows what he's doing, but I got this. You guys know I know these motors. I know how to turbo cars. I know how to tune cars. Your boys, just have some confidence in your boys. And then a lot of guys are upset about the S13. I know, look at it. Oh, yeah, she's pretty. She's a good girl, you know? She's my main girl. Don't ever forget that. That's my main girl right there. And I mean, the drivetrain's mint. I got brand new coilovers for it from BC. They hooked it up with the DR series, which I'm super pumped about. We gotta throw those in, and then we have to put the over fenders on, put the kit on, and paint it. That's all it needs. Even if we finished it right now, I wouldn't touch it until literally the drift season starts, because there's no reason to, because it's just, the roads are salty and shitty and whatever. So I want to use that time to have some new fun projects and get caught up and do things like Nissan and stuff like that. It's just not top priority, but trust me, it's not forgotten about. I will make sure that car is ready for the drift season, and we're gonna have a blast. So I just talked a crap ton, so let me shut up and let's get to work. So we're pulling this out right now, like I just said. So, I mean, really, there's no coolant in the car, and it's not really finished. So it should come apart pretty quick. Just get to it. All right, let's speed run this, guys. Everyone grab a wrench, let's get to work. Ooh, I'm actually really happy with the boost pipes on these things. I'm pretty picky when it comes to my intercooler piping, so I feel like I could actually use these things and be happy with it, which is huge. All right, so it sucks because it's actually like a beautiful downpipe, and it would work perfect if it was going into a right-hand or left-hand drive chassis. But unfortunately, the car is right-hand drive, which means the steering shaft is gonna be completely in the way. So I'm actually extremely worried about that. We might have to make some crazy ass downpipe to clear the steering shaft. It's a nice piece.
It's not bad looking.
It's a shame I can't use it. No. We'll cross that bridge when it comes, but I think we can handle it. The fresh Mishi. Oh no, it's a Koyo. Oh wow, I thought it was a Mishi. It's a Koyo. You guys know? You know. Another piece I'm pretty stoked on, oil cooler kit, which is really dope. It fits really nice in here. Honestly, I'm tempted to rob this and put it in my E30. Ooh, right?
That's a fucking unit.
That's a piece. And then my favorite part about BMW's little E36s. Too easy. Look at this. The accessibility is amazing. Now you guys can see how easily you can pull these motors. You can literally just, yeah, and then, but we need to paint the bay first. You guys know. All right, I didn't want to pull the intake manifold. I wanted to leave it as one big chunk, but I realized I'm probably gonna have to pull the intake manifold again to redo some things for that chassis. So it's like one of those things that it's just like sometimes it's just suck it up in the beginning and just do the work because you're gonna end up doing it eventually, right?
Might as well.
Might as well.
Get it done, get it out of the way. That way you don't have to worry about it
Yeah,
again.
that's what it is. So just bite the bullet, all right? Boom, there we go, boys. Oh, actually, it wasn't too bad. After doing this like 40 times, I don't think it's that bad anymore, actually. Like, look at this. It's such a cluster under the intake, but it's not too bad. Cool, now we should be able to have a strap point right there, and then the factory hook in the front he took off, so maybe I have a spare one we could put on there. If not, we could just like wrap it around this. That'll do. Okay, so the hardest part about this is the fact that the oil pan actually like kicks out really far towards the driver's side, which gets hooked on the steering shaft. Usually you can move the whole engine over, but I neglected the fact that the turbo is in the way from moving the whole drivetrain over. So we might have to get creative and try and rotate the engine. All right, I'm like, oh, we're good. Pick it up, jack it up for me. That's the technique there.
Oh, we're in here, buddy.
Right there.
Sumo, you're not used to it.
Pull it out. We're good. Just pull straight out. Level.
That was so amazing.
And? Oh. And? Not bad. We're getting good at this. Here's a new heart to my E36. It's one bad bitch of a heart, I'll tell you what. So the bread and butter is right here. We got the drivetrain, the S50, turbocharger, all the goodies, head studs, cut ring gas. You guys know.
You already know the vibe.
So this is the heart of it. This is what's gonna turn this car into something really. I mean, just looking at it next to it, like seeing it next to it, just like warms my heart. Like the car feels cooler by association of the S50.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're hanging out with a cool kid, like you just feel cooler. See, I feel dope hanging out with Mike. So
It's the other way around.
all right. So, like I said, I want to basically fully convert this car to an M3. Not because I care about the title or anything, just because the M3 parts are better. So let's make the chassis better. So not only is the drivetrain better, but the next piece of the puzzle that I'm going to steal is the brakes. So the brakes are bigger. That's
Bigger's better. It's America. That's a fact.
That's see? He knows. And I actually happen to have a brand new set of brake pads and drill slotted rotors for M3 from that M3 I sold over the summer.
Hey, come up.
Right? That's what I'm saying. It's a win-win. So let's steal the brakes real quick. And then I also want to steal, well, we need to steal the drive shaft because it's a ZF trans. And that was a Get Trax before. So
Yeah.
we need that. And then the LSD in this thing is not only beefier, better gear ratio, and it's, like I said, LSD.
Hell yeah.
So let's just start ripping things off this car. Just don't buy aluminum lug nuts. It's just not a good idea.
It just ends in a, yep, that's exactly how it ends.
Like, what the? All right. Oh, we got some fresh braided lines too, which is a really, really good touch. And of course, the fresh PCs. They might be a couple years old, but they've never been driven on. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like,
We'll find out.
yeah, right. So, oh, it also converted to studs, which is really nice. So we'll steal these things too. So let's unbolt this thing. Oof. Check it out. There it is, baby. I don't even care if it's a difference. I don't even care if it's bigger. We got the symbol. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's all that
all
matters.
the clout, right?
Well, that's it. It's all about. I mean, no, these are pretty big. It just sucks that they're like, you know,
Gold?
No, when it's just not a floating. When it's a floating caliper
Yeah.
like this, it's just ugly.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll definitely repaint those. Oh, things are awful. They kind of look like if a blitz got like radiation poisoning. And
If a
It's like, this car is really clean. This is actually like a good time to make a point real quick. Like you guys have probably already commented this at the beginning of this, but yes, some confusion yesterday's video. A lot of you guys thought I was using this as just like a parts car. Like I kind of am, right? I'm still in the drivetrain, I'm still in the brakes, still in different stuff, but I don't want this car to go to waste. Like I don't want it to get stripped apart and junked. Like this shell is worth using and saving. It's a really nice car.
it's unbelievably clean.
Unbelievably clean. But for the price I got it for, I could justify taking what I want out of it and selling the shell. And then someone who has an M3 that might be higher mileage, might have rust, might have body damage, could purchase something like this for me at a decent price and put together and have a low mile Daytona Violet M3. Don't think I'm like putting an M3.
No, this is not getting crushed up. This is going to someone who will care for it.
I'm just being greedy and taking what I want.
Yo, it's 2020. It's all about you, kid.
Dude, yeah.
You already know the vibe.
You already know the vibes. Conveniently enough, the rear brakes aren't even hooked up. Look, ready? I didn't even do this.
Oh,
Nice.
That's all right.
All right, so obviously these are a little bit bigger too, and they have the M3 stamp. So I got to do a little bit more research because the whole like suspension might be different on the M3. Because look at the trailing arm. The trailing arm is stamped with the M3 logo on it.
No shit.
Or M logo, not M3, but you get what I'm saying. Just be more reinforced, or it might be a wider track width by a little bit. Who knows? Maybe I'll just swap everything. Yeah, I'll take the brakes for now. It's cool. Alright, so I'm looking at the rear end, and it looks like a little bit more than just the axles and diff might be different on the chassis. And I was looking underneath, and I saw that the previous owner actually installed solid subframe bushings too. And basically everything underneath is refreshed. So I'm thinking it might just be easier and better in the long run to just basically take the whole rear drop out. So drop the rear subframe with everything attached to it and just shove it in my car. And then put the one in my car in here. I mean, why not? So yeah, let's unbolt this whole thing. There we go, boys. Drive shaft and all, full M3 rear end. So we got our M3 LSD, solid subframe bushings. It looks like it was recently all spray painted, which is yeah, totally cool. I guess the axles are also way stronger, and for some reason the trailing arms have an M badge on them, which I just think is cool. So here we go, full M3 rear end that I will be exchanging with my not so M3 rear end, which isn't too bad. So the most pain in the ass part was literally just pulling the e-brake cables out because they're like seized to the knuckle. Besides that, drops real easily. So I'll probably switch these out like tomorrow just to get that over with, so this car could actually can roll because obviously it's not convenient with it like this. So get my rear end in it. I'll throw the front end back on it and clean up the interior, and it's going up for sale. I think I should be able to get like decent money for it. It is a shell, but like you guys all know, it's a low miles, rust-free, 95 M3, which, I don't know, whatever, someone will buy it. But then we'll take that money and put it right into the Ready 36. So I'm pumped, really happy. Today was for a late night start, pretty stoked. So now what's next is I obviously have to throw the rear end in this thing and I can get the brakes on ASAP. I want to paint the engine bay just so I could put this engine in and I could just leave it in there because this is the drivetrain this thing's gonna have. So luckily it's like already basically fully stripped since the last time I pulled the motor. So I think me and B can handle that pretty easily because these are pretty easy engine bays. They're just very round and very open. So bang that out, and then in between, where is it, right here, getting parts for this, and we should be good. So really pumped. Successful day. So, and once I said, this thing will live on, just not with me. So you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. Stay pumped as heck for the 36. I'm so excited. And with that, have a good night.